Part 1. There's a stretch of the I-5 that never really sleeps. 800 miles of light, asphalt, and ghosts. From Mexico to Canada, the road bleeds stories, most of them never make the news. But in the summer of 2022, the I-5 turned into a graveyard. And for 3 weeks, every woman who disappeared along it had one thing in common. They all looked like they were posed for a final photograph. A patrol cruiser slows to a stop near mile marker 247. The dash cam flickers. Sergeant Ryan Keller, 12 years on the force, steps out. He's quiet, methodical, the kind of cop who doesn't talk to himself because the silence already says enough. He finds her just off the shoulder. A young woman. Emily Carter, 28. Her body laid out like a broken star, arms and legs extended, head turned to the sky. Her phone is propped against a milepost, recording nothing but static. Ryan kneels, jaw tight. He's seen bad scenes before. But not this clean. Not this deliberate. The highway hums with passing trucks, engines screaming through the fog. One of them veers close, wind almost knocking him off balance. For a moment, the road feels alive, like it's breathing beneath his boots. They called him the Interstate Shadow. But back then, nobody knew that name. Not yet. They just knew a nurse had left Los Angeles at midnight and never made it home. At sunrise, the crime scene is a portrait of order and dread. Yellow tape flaps in the desert wind. Detectives hover around the body, quiet. Ryan leans against his car, reviewing his notes. Mile 247, 2:04 a.m., tire marks consistent with a van or SUV. Then he sees it. A small piece of duct tape at the edge of the asphalt, imprinted with faint skin oils and something else. A partial medical logo. Haven Medical Center. Ryan recognizes it. It's an old hospital near Bakersfield. Closed 5 years ago. The task force meets. Captain Ethan Brooks, gray-haired and tense, briefs the team. 2 other disappearances, both female, both alone on I-5. No forced entry, no robbery, no ransom. Ryan watches the slideshow. Sophia Lee, 34. Olivia Bennett, 31. All 3 found near truck stops or rest areas. Each body carefully arranged. Each with traces of medical-grade antiseptic. When the briefing ends, Ryan stays behind, staring at the photos. He notices something subtle, the angle of the arms, the tilt of the heads, like choreography. It's not random. It's presentation. Sometimes, killers want you to see what they see. Others want to show you what you missed. This one, he wanted to be understood. That night, Ryan drives north, past Bakersfield, through the orange groves, under a bleeding sunset. The I-5 stretches ahead like an artery of light. He keeps thinking about that logo on the tape. Haven Medical Center. He stops at the old hospital just before midnight. The building is a shell, windows shattered, ivy crawling up the walls. Inside, his flashlight cuts through layers of dust and silence. In one of the old trauma rooms, he finds something strange. A digital recorder, still blinking red. He presses play. A woman's voice fills the air. Please? Nathan, I don't want to go back in the van. Then static. Then a soft male whisper, eerily calm. Shh. You're safe now. Ryan freezes. His pulse kicks. The voice sounds unnatural. Too smooth, too even. Like a voice generated, not spoken. The first time he heard that tape, Keller thought it was fake. Then he realized that was the point. Someone wanted to blur the line between real and fabricated fear. He sends the audio to the lab. Preliminary results, 78% digital synthesis. An AI voice clone. But the metadata reveals something else. The file was edited less than 2 hours before Emily Carter's body was found. From a Wi-Fi signal registered to a rest stop near Stockton. Ryan's hands tighten around the steering wheel. He can almost see it. A black van pulling off the road, someone inside uploading a file, watching the highway lights flicker through tinted glass. In truck stop diner, night. He meets Jack Harlan, a long-haul trucker with a nervous twitch. Jack says he saw a black van that same night, parked under the neon sign. No plates. The driver, white male, mid-40s, neat haircut, wearing a faded medical ID tag. Ryan takes notes, slow. When Jack describes the driver's eyes, grey, unblinking, Ryan feels a chill crawl up his spine. He asks one last question, did he speak? Jack nods. Yeah. Said something weird. Like he was rehearsing. What did he say? Jack frowns. He said, the cure must look like the disease. Ryan stares at the condensation sliding down his coffee cup. That phrase sticks in his mind like a splinter. By the second week, Keller stopped thinking of it as a case. He started thinking of it as a message. Whoever this man was, he wanted his crimes to mean something. The next night, at 2:37 a.m., Ryan gets a call from dispatch. Another missing vehicle, Olivia Bennett's Toyota, found abandoned near a rest area. No body yet. No tracks. But inside the glove box, another audio file. This one starts with a man's voice, confident, rehearsed, eerily gentle. Tonight, it says, we'll save another one. Then the sound of a heartbeat. Then silence. Ryan sits in his cruiser, headlights off, staring at the empty highway. The road seems endless, like it's swallowing the stars. In his rearview mirror, the fog begins to thicken again. He whispers to himself. Who the hell are you saving? When the devil learns medicine, he stops killing out of rage. He kills out of mercy. The camera would fade out here. The sound of tires hissing on wet asphalt. A single red taillight vanishing into the dark. And over it, Ryan's radio crackling with one final, distorted transmission. Officer Keller, copy? We have a voice match. Former emergency physician. Nathan Hayes. Static swallows the rest. The hum of the Interstate rises like a scream under the surface. Part 2, the voice of God. By the time they put a name to the voice, the damage was already done. Dr. Nathan Hayes. 45 years old. Former ER physician. A man once sworn to save lives, now turning the highway into his morgue. In the Highway Task Force HQ, morning. The briefing room hums with fluorescent light and tension. A photo of Dr. Nathan Hayes glows on the projector, clean-cut, handsome in a sterile way. The kind of face you trust when you're bleeding out. Captain Ethan Brooks reads from the file. Terminated 2019. Accused of experimental sedative misuse. Never charged. Moved north, address unknown. Ryan Keller studies the image. Something about it unsettles him. The eyes, grey, calm, detached. Like someone who's already said goodbye to empathy. A technician fast-forwards through the AI files recovered from the case. Waveforms spike across the screen. Voices overlap, pleading, crying, whispering. Every victim's final call reconstructed, word by word. Technician, they are all generated from one source model. Same vocal DNA. Ryan, whose? Technician, not any of the victims. It's female, mid-60s. British accent. Hayes' mother, maybe? Ryan's jaw tightens. He remembers that whisper from the first tape. Sure. You're safe now. It wasn't a lover's voice. It was maternal. Reassuring. A mother comforting her son through the static. He'd found a way to make mercy sound like a lullaby. Every kill, a bedtime story. Wind howls between diesel rigs. The neon buzzes faintly over a half-empty diner. Ryan meets Jack Harlan again, the trucker who first reported the black van. Jack's hands shake around a cup of stale coffee. Saw him again, he mutters. Same van, different plate. Pulled off by Button Willow exit. Sat there for hours. No lights. Ryan steps outside, scanning the endless line of headlights on the interstate. The I-5 feels like a bloodstream, cars moving like cells, carrying stories, secrets, death. He radios dispatch. Unit 2 to 14, visual possible suspect vehicle, black Ford Transit, heading north. Requesting backup. The radio hisses. Static swells, then cuts. Back, wreck. Dead. Radio jamming again. Ryan curses under his breath, slams the gear into drive, and pulls out. In the patrol cruiser, continuous. The siren stays off. Only the soft hum of tires and the flicker of highway reflectors. Then, there. Up ahead, a black van, cruising steady, too steady. Ryan accelerates. The van suddenly swerves, brake lights flaring, then speeds off. Chase begins. 80, 90, 100 miles per hour. The van drifts between semis like a phantom, clipping mirrors, scattering debris. Ryan grips the wheel tighter, eyes fixed on those taillights that seem to float like dying embers. He leans toward the MIC, dispatch, suspect fleeing northbound. Static again. Only this time, the static isn't empty. Through the interference, he hears a voice, soft, deliberate. Ryan, slow down. You're scaring her. Ryan's pulse spikes. It's his name. He looks around, disbelieving. The voice continues, smooth, calm. We're trying to save them. Don't make it worse. He kills the radio and floors the gas. When a killer starts talking to you through your own comms, it stops being a chase. It becomes a conversation. The van veers off toward an abandoned trucking depot. The kind used for long-haul storage, metal warehouses, dark and hollow. Ryan cuts the lights and follows at a distance. The van slows, then rolls behind a loading bay. He parks 50 yards out, and resting on his sidearm, breath shallow. He steps out. The desert wind screams between rusted containers. Somewhere, a metal door bangs open, then closed again. Inside the bay, he spots the van, driver's door open. Empty. He sweeps his flashlight across the floor. Rows of crates. Stacks of oxygen tanks. And something else. A circle of old hospital gurneys arranged in a spiral. Each one fitted with restraints. On the center table sits a laptop, screen flickering. A waveform moves on it. Then his own voice plays. Officer Ryan Keller, California Highway Patrol. Stay calm, we're coming to help. The words echo through the hollow space. Ryan stares at the screen. That recording, he never said it. Not like that. The voice is him, but smoother, clearer. Ryan, the voice continues, you understand, don't you? The treatment hurts before it heals. He steps back, gun raised. The laptop camera light flickers on. On screen, a man's reflection, partially obscured by the glow. Gray eyes. A faint, tranquil smile. You've seen what pain does. I'm ending it. One patient at a time. Then the feed cuts. The first time Keller saw Hayes' face, he didn't see madness. He saw belief. A man convinced that every death was an act of mercy. In the warehouse, moments later, Ryan moves deeper into the dark. The air smells like antiseptic and gasoline. He hears the faint tick of a timer. Then he sees it. A small explosive device wired to a propane tank under one of the gurneys. Timer 03:42. 03:41. He grabs his radio, shouting for backup. No response. He looks around, no sign of Hayes. Only the whisper of wind slipping through the cracks. He rips a cable from the detonator, nothing. The timer keeps ticking. On the floor beside the bomb, photograph, Emily, Sophia, Olivia. Their faces smiling, eyes circled in pen. And beneath them, his own ID photo. That was when he understood. It was never about the women. They were just the rehearsal. Ryan Keller was the finale. He dives behind a crate, grabs his phone, dials. Captain Brooks, bomb, button Willow Depot, send everyone. The timer drops, 00:59. 00:58. A faint sound from the shadows, footsteps. Ryan spins, gun raised. A voice floats from the darkness, soft, eerily calm. You're too late, Sergeant. The treatment's already begun. The timer flashes red. He runs. Out the side door, boots pounding gravel. The explosion tears the night apart. A thunderous roar of fire, light, and dust. He's thrown to the ground, ears ringing, debris raining down. When he looks back, the warehouse is an inferno. No sign of the van. Just the faint echo of that same synthetic voice drifting through the flames. Don't worry, Ryan, you're safe now. When the smoke cleared, the scene was empty. No body. No van. No proof. Just the sound of a mother's voice fading into static. And on every trooper's phone that night, a new voicemail appeared. Each one began with the same words. This is Dr. Nathan Hayes. I can help you sleep. Part 3, the final patient. Some killers vanish when they die. Others, when the road forgets them. But Nathan Hayes left something different behind. A ghost made of code, recordings, and conviction. And for Sergeant Ryan Keller, that ghost wasn't done talking yet. The I-5 runs endless beneath a bleeding orange sky. Miles of dust and tire marks, stitched together by tragedy. 2 weeks after the explosion, the task force had nothing. No body, no van, just a crater of twisted metal and the whisper of a digital phantom. But Ryan Keller couldn't let it go. Sleep came in fragments, dreams of static, voices calling his name through the hum of freeway lights. Then, one night, the call came. In the Highway Patrol HQ night. Dispatch patch connects, a 911 ping from an abandoned storage facility near Stockton. The caller? Female, weak, whispering, please. I'm still here. Ryan's stomach drops. The voice belongs to Olivia Bennett, the third woman, presumed dead. He grabs his jacket, his badge, his weapon, and nothing else. Captain Brooks shouts after him, wait for backup. Ryan doesn't wait. He's already halfway to the car. When you chase shadows long enough, you start seeing yourself in them. Ryan knew this wasn't rescue. It was bait. The facility stands alone, concrete walls, floodlights dead, silence thick as oil. The only sound, a faint generator hum from deep inside. Ryan parks 100 feet out, flashlight ready, steps light. The air smells like burnt antiseptic and desert dust. Inside, rows of metal storage pods stretch into the dark. Each door marked with a number. Some doors bear stains, rust or something darker. Then, faintly, music. A lullaby walked through a cheap speaker. Sleep, my child, and peace attend thee. Ryan's heart kicks. He follows the sound to pod 13. In the storage pod 13, continuous. Inside, a small room converted into a medical ward. Blue tarps, 4 bags, a single surgical light. And Olivia, alive, strapped to a gurney, sedated but breathing. He rushes forward, unfastens the restraints. Her lips move, faintly whispering, he's still here. Before Ryan can respond, the overhead lights flicker on. A voice fills the room. You made it, Ryan. I knew you would. Hayes steps out from the shadows, calm as ever. White coat, surgical gloves, eyes clear and hollow. A pistol holstered beneath the coat, but his hands are empty. There are men who kill for thrill, and men who kill for silence. Hayes killed for order. A doctor's logic in a murderer's heart. Ryan, step away from her, Nathan. Hayes, smiling, do you hear her breathing? That's my work. I fixed her. Ryan steadies his aim. You drugged her. Hayes nods. Sedation is kindness. Panic is poison. You of all people should understand that. Ryan's finger tightens on the trigger. Hayes tilts his head, curious. You think bullets save lives, Sergeant? We're not so different. I just went one diagnosis further. He gestures to a monitor beside the gurney, vital signs, stable. Then another screen lights up, dozens of video files. Each labeled after a woman's name and a time of death. Hayes walks to the nearest one. Presses play. Emily Carter's voice fills the room, calm, peaceful. Thank you, Doctor. I'm ready. Ryan's throat locks. Jesus Christ, she never said that. Hayes looks back, faint smile fading. No. But she should have. That's the point. He turns, reaching into his coat. Ryan fires. A single shot tears through Hayes' shoulder. The doctor stumbles, but doesn't fall. He laughs, soft, almost affectionate. Pain is proof you're still alive, Ryan. He presses a button on the console. A metallic click echoes through the building. All the storage pods open at once. Inside each, rows of empty gurneys, monitors flickering with pre-recorded patient footage. Hayes' digital mausoleum. He wasn't just killing. He was archiving. Every victim turned into a simulation. A living record of obedience and surrender. Ryan lunges forward, wrestling Hayes to the ground. They crash into the equipment, glass shattering, monitors sparking. Hayes coughs blood, but his expression stays serene. You've been listening to me for weeks, haven't you? You know what comes next. Ryan snarls, you're done talking. But Hayes only whispers. You can't stop the cure. He reaches into his pocket, pulls a syringe already half filled with clear fluid. Before Ryan can react, Hayes plunges it into his own neck. He exhales softly, eyes rolling back. A faint smile crosses his lips. I saved them all, including her. Then his body goes still. In the storage pod, moments later, Ryan kneels beside Olivia, and trembling as he cuts her fall. She wakes, eyes wide and terrified. Where is he? Gone, Ryan says. You're safe. Her breath catches. He said that too. Ryan looks down, the monitors still humming. Every screen flickers, one by one, turning white. Then a voice, soft, synthetic, maternal. You're safe now, Ryan. He freezes. The same AI voice, the mother's voice. The monitors fade to black, one after another. The final one stays lit just long enough to show a line of text. The cure is complete. They found 20 hours of footage on the hard drives. Each file perfectly labeled, time-coded, archived. Every voice engineered. Every scream smoothed into silence. Nathan Hayes was gone, but his system wasn't. Someone, something, was still running the program. Sunrise bleeds over the asphalt.